Christmas in itself is a miracle, and sometimes God does Christmas miracles. Let me tell you about one. About 8 years ago, a friend of mine, Jeremiah, was a street musician on the streets of Las Vegas. He would, even though he's one-armed, he can play a guitar, and he would sing at night, all night long, and live off the tips that people gave him. But he also was homeless and depressed, suicidal, and had a drug addiction. Well, God reached down and grabbed Jeremiah, and Jeremiah threw away his drugs and gave his life completely to Jesus. A few months after that, it was December 17th, on a Monday night, he got a random Facebook request from a lady he'd never met who lived in California. She explained that her son, Jefferson, had left home, and last she knew, he was living on the streets of Las Vegas. She began to scour Facebook looking for his friends and friends of his friends who might be in Las Vegas. She ran into Jeremiah's name and found out that he had become a Christian. She had 7 prayer chains praying for her son Jefferson. And she asked Jeremiah, she said, "Would you please find my son Jefferson and tell him he can come home?" Well, there's 10,000 homeless people in Las Vegas, so the odds of Jeremiah finding Jefferson were 1 in 10,000. But it just so happened that my son Andrew had been collecting clothes and washing them and getting them prepared to take to homeless people as winter was coming on in Las Vegas. Well, the next day Jeremiah was gathering with our church for worship and prayer in the morning, and we did a session of silence and solitude and asking God to speak to us. He was hoping God would say something exciting to him, like he would get a record deal or the girl he loved would want to marry him. But that's not what God said. God said to Jeremiah, "Go deliver clothes." Jeremiah's like, "No, it's raining, it's cold, I'm tired, I was up all night. God, tell me something else." And he listened, and God said, "Go deliver clothes." Well, when they got done praying, Andrews went up to Jeremiah and said, "Hey, we were going to go deliver clothes today to the homeless camp. Why don't you come with us?" So Jeremiah, his brother Pyrrhus, their friend Meek, and Andrew all headed out to the homeless camps. The first camp they went to, they split up, and Jeremiah went up to a young man and handed him clothes and said, "Hey, I'm Jeremiah." And the young man said, "I'm Jefferson." Think about it. Out of 10,000 homeless people, the first homeless camp they go to, the first person they talk to, and Andrew didn't talk to him, Meek didn't talk to him, Pyrrhus didn't talk to him, but Jeremiah spoke to Jefferson. And he said, "Is this you? Is this your mom?" He handed Jefferson the phone. Jefferson called his mom, was on a bus back to California, was there for Christmas. She got her Christmas miracle. God does amazing things. God is an amazing God. God can put things and events and pieces and situations together that we can't possibly imagine. But it all happens when you're willing to say yes. That miracle happened for Jeremiah when Jeremiah was willing to say yes. As God speaks to you this Christmas, I want to encourage you. The very first Christmas miracle was God giving a virgin girl a baby and her willingness to say yes. Why don't you say yes to God today? Why don't you keep saying yes to God all through Christmas?